Get in a nice, comfortable seat, cross-legged position if possible. Allow the eyes to close or the gaze to point down at the mat or ground. On your next inhale, you'll lift the crown or cap of head up to the ceiling. And exhale, just relax the shoulders, relax the hands in the lap. Notice the air enter and exit through the nose. And on your inhales, the belly rising, expanding to fill with air. And on the exhales, belly contracting to spine, releasing the air. On your next inhale, bring both palms to heart center. And then plant your right palm to the mat. Inhale to lift left arm skyward. You can gaze ahead or up to left arm. Try to keep anchoring through that left hip. On your exhale, plant the left hand to the ground. Inhale the right arm skyward. Again, gazing ahead or up, keeping that right hip planted. And on exhale, right hand returns back to the ground. Inhale both arms skyward, gazing up. And exhale, twisting to your right. You'll twist from the belly up. You'll keep the collarbones wide and gaze over the right shoulder. On your exhale, you'll unwind back to center. Inhale, lift both arms and gaze. And exhale, twist to rotate to the left. Twisting from the belly up, keeping the collarbone chest wide, gazing over the left shoulder. You're still filling as much as you can on inhale, allowing that belly to rise. On your exhale, returning back to center. From here, bring both palms to heart center. And extend both arms out in front of you. You'll open both arms so the shoulder blades come together behind the back and close both arms on the exhale. Inhale to open the arms, shoulder blades squeeze, and exhale, hands draw back together. Inhale, open the chest, shoulder blades squeeze, exhale, palms together. Inhale, open the chest, and exhale, palms back together. Send both palms and gaze up on inhale, and exhale, float the hands down to the lap. Just find your way over to your tabletop position from here. Knees, as always, planted underneath the hips, wrists right under the shoulders, middle finger pointers facing forwards. Inhale, head and hips rise. Exhale, space between shoulder blades opens. Inhale to rise, cow tilt, and exhale to your cat. Inhale, look up, and exhale to round the back, open space behind back. Inhale once more, look up, and exhale to round the back. Inhale, look up once more, and exhale to round. This time we'll add your right leg, lifting the knee on inhale, exhaling knee into chest. Inhale to lift, exhale knee into chest or nose. Inhale, lift the right leg or knee, exhale, pulse knee into chest. Inhale to lift, look up, and exhale, pulse right knee into chest. Inhale one last time up, exhale, pulse in, and set the right knee down. Lift the left knee on inhale, and exhale, pulse in. Inhale to lift, look up. Exhale, round the back, left knee to chest. Inhale to lift, look up. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, lift, look up. Exhale, pulse the knee into chest again. And inhale, lift, look up. And exhale, pulse in. Set the left knee down to the mat. Make sure that the tops of feet are to the mat here. You're going to press into the tops of feet, into the wrists, and lift the knees an inch or so off the mat. You're activating the core, pulling the belly into the spine, pressing into all 10 fingertips, breathing in and out through nose, and set the knees back down to the ground. Curl the toes under here. Find a nice stretch in the backs of feet, almost like a child's pose, bringing that stretch to the backs of feet with the toes curled under. And then just walk the hands over to the right, both hands over to the right side to lengthen the left side. On your inhale, walk both hands over to the left side to lengthen right side of body. Try to send the air over to that right rib cage. And then bring both hands back to the center. Inhale up to your tabletop position and curl the toes under, and exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Here you'll find the arms should be nice and long, kind of same line as the back or spine. The knees can stay bent if legs aren't worn or heels don't ever have to touch here. You can keep the knees bent as much or little as you need. Just looking for that lengthened spine. On your exhale, take a step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, slowly rise, hands up. Exhale, send palms to heart center. Inhale, stand tall, look ahead. On your exhale, turn your head to the right. Inhale, take a breath, center. Exhale, turn the head over left shoulder. Stepping to the top of your mat or space. Inhale, lift both palms and gaze. Exhale, bend from the hips to fold. Inhale, halfway to flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank position. Shoulders are over the wrists here. Heels press away from the head. And exhale, high to low plank. Elbows stay nice and close to the body. Inhale, expand the chest, upward dog. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Again, arms are nice and long. Back, spine is nice and long. Knees can stay bent still. Feet are about hips distance apart. Pressure is nice and even through both palms. Make sure the shoulders aren't creeping up to the ears. On the exhale, bend the knees, look ahead, return to top of mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, a slow rise. And exhale, send palms to heart center. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, bend to fold forwards. Inhale, halfway to flatten the back, look ahead. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank position. Again, shoulders are directly over the wrists, heels press away from the head. Exhale, travel high to low, chaturanga. Inhale, expand the chest, gaze up. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Work through both palms firmly, nice even pressure. Send the hips further away from the hands if you can to lengthen the spine. Drawing the navel in and up to the spine. Exhale, bend the knees, look ahead, travel the top of mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to standing, look up. Exhale, slowly lower palms to heart center. Again, you'll stand tall on inhale, lengthen through top of head. Exhale, turn gaze over right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, gaze over left shoulder. Inhale, back to the center. And then behind you, just bring all 10 fingers to an interlace or bind if possible. At the same time, you'll bend both knees, coming to a modified chair pose. Want to make sure the shoulders are rolling up and back so shoulder blades come together. Shift the weight into your right foot and lift the left knee off the ground. Balancing here, and that right leg, the right knee is still bent. Slowly, if you can, set that left leg back to the end of the mat, lifting the left heel so you're in a high lunge, still with that bind of all 10 fingers behind the back. On your next exhale, you'll fold forwards, bringing the upper body over that right thigh. Try not to let it touch on the thigh, though. Try to keep the core supporting. Hands are skyward as much as is comfortable, still pressing through that back left heel. You'll inhale back up, releasing the bind, bringing arms up. Exhale, bring the palms to heart center. And then you'll twist or rotate on your next exhale over that right side of the body, your right knee. The left elbow will come outside the right knee. The top right palm presses into the bottom left palm to open right shoulder. Trying to keep the hips facing forwards here, still pressing through back left heel. On your next inhale, you'll lift the upper body back up towards that high lunge. Straighten both legs on. Then you'll exhale as you start to fold forwards, creating a nice flat back in your fold, and then folding over that front right leg. Again, both legs straight, hips face forwards. Hands can support on the ground, on the shin, wherever is most comfortable. Allowing length to the backs of legs. If you'll bend that front right knee, send both hands to the ground. Find your way back to a plank position. On your exhale, travel high to low. Inhale, expand the chest, upward facing dog, and exhale back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Your next exhale, bend both knees, look ahead, travel the top of mat. Inhale, halfway to a flat back. Exhale, lower the head towards shins. Inhale, rise up to standing. If you ever get dizzy, the chin is the last thing to lift. Exhale, send palms to heart center. We'll send that bind again of all 10 fingers interlacing behind the back with both arms. Knees are both bent. Modified chair pose. You'll shift the weight to the left foot, lift the right knee. Drawing the navel in and up to stay supported. Still keep that bend in the left knee. And slowly set that right foot down in the back of the mat, keeping the right heel lifted to that lunge. Still keeping that expanse in chest and that bind with hands or arms behind back. Fill on the next inhale from the belly all the way up. And exhale to fold forward over that front left leg. Again, you're folding over the leg, but you're making sure that the belly or chest isn't resting on your thigh. You're using the core to support here. Hands are lifted as much as is possible. Relaxing neck as much as is possible. We'll inhale back up to that high lunge and exhale, this time rotating to your left, twisting to left. That right elbow will come outside your left knee, still pressing through back right heel. Top left palm presses into bottom right palm. Open the left shoulder here. Getting a nice twist. Again, you'll come back up to 2 straight legs, flattening the back. Making sure both feet are facing forwards, hips are facing forwards. Using the hands to support on the ground or hands to the shin works just fine too. On your exhale, bend the left knee. Find your way back to your plank position. Exhale, travel high to lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, back downward dog. Slowly set the knees down to the mat on your next exhale. Lift the right arm and the left leg so they're both parallel to the ground. Reaching through the right fingertips, pressing through left heel. Exhale to lower them. Lift the left arm and right leg. Right foot is flexed, reaching and pushing. And exhale, lower them. Make sure the tops of the feet are to the mat again. And you'll lift the knees again off the mat, pressing firmly through both hands. Just lifting the knees an inch or so, really activating the core. Belly's pulled into spine. And exhale, set the knees back down. Bring a curl to the toes. And just press back to downward facing dog here. Send the right leg up on inhale. Pulse the right knee into chest on exhale. Inhale to lengthen the right leg. Exhale, pulse in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, pulse in. And plant that right foot to the ground, slowly working your way back up to a high lunge. That front right knee stays over the ankle. Back left heel is lifted. Pressing through that back left heel should bring a stretch to the front left hip. On your exhale, release both hands back to the ground. Find your way back to plank and travel high to low on exhale. Inhale, expand the chest, engage inner thighs, and exhale, back downward dog. Left leg raises on inhale, pulse the left knee into the chest on exhale. Inhale, lengthen left leg. Exhale, pulse left knee in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, pulse the knee in. Plant the left foot to the ground. Inhale slowly, both arms up to the ceiling or sky. To that high lunge, left knee over ankle, passing through back right heel to bring a stretch to front right hip. And exhale, plant the hands back to the ground. Just time to step up to the top of your mat or space to forward fold. Inhale halfway, look up. Exhale, fold, head comes to shins. And just take a nice deep fold for a moment, maybe bending the knees if you need to protect low back. Relaxing head, neck, and shoulders. And bring hands to shins, press up halfway on inhale, flattening the back. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, bring a bend to the knees. And lift the upper body so the back is parallel to the ground. You'll lift both arms at the same time. And keep a bend to the right knee as you lift left leg into warrior 3, or Virabhadrasana 3. That left foot is flexed, pointing to the ground. The left heel presses away from the head. Back is nice and flat. Exhale, bring the left knee back down to the ground. Just give yourself a hug, kind of rounding the back here. Inhale, open both arms. And exhale, just cross them again, giving yourself a hug. Inhale, open the arms, engage the core. Bend to the left knee as you lift the right leg, pointing right toes down. Right heel presses away from head, back stays flat. Slowly lower that right leg back down. Exhale, give yourself a hug around the back. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, give yourself a hug around the back. Inhale, just slowly rise up to standing. Lift the palms and gaze. Exhale, send palms and gaze to heart. So take a step to the top of the mat if you've shifted. Inhale, lengthen through the top of head. Exhale, turn over right shoulder, gaze over right. Inhale, lengthen through top of head. Exhale, turn gaze over left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Lengthen both arms up and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, hop back to plank, travel high to low, and exhale. Inhale, upward dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and exhale, back, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hips travel away from the hands still. Knees can still stay bent, or legs might be more straight as your body's warmer. Heels come closer to the ground. Inhale once more, that right leg skyward, bend the right knee, and just open the right hip a little bit. And then step that right foot through, knee over ankle, inhale up, high lunge. Find that interlace one more time with all 10 fingers behind, chest is expanded. On your exhale, fold forwards over that front right knee. Hands are skyward, weights in the right knee. Try to pulse a few times to shift the weight solely in the right leg, lifting the left leg into warrior 3. Left foot is flexed to the ground. And slowly set the left foot back down. Inhale, both arms up, high lunge. Exhale, both hands back to the ground, plank position, travel high to low, and exhale. Inhale to upward dog, and exhale back, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg this time to the ceiling, bend the left knee. You can open left hip over right slightly, and then send that left foot through the top of mat, knee over ankle. Inhale up, high lunge. Find an interlace or bind of all 10 fingers, open the chest. On your exhale, fold forward over that front leg, don't rest on the thigh, lift arms skyward. And then slowly start to transition the weight into that left foot, taking a few pulses if you need. Once you lift the right leg off the ground, pull the belly in, point the right toes down, warrior 3, bend stays to the left knee. Try and keep that bind if you can. Slowly set the right foot back down, inhale both arms up, high lunge, and exhale both hands to the ground. Find your way back to plank position, travel high to low, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward dog. Firm pressure through both palms, nice steady breath in and out through the nose. On the next exhale, see if you can hop to the top of mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale as you kind of fold or bring your hands to the ground this time. But you're going to separate your feet apart, preparing for crow pose if that's in your practice. If it's not, you can certainly come into a squat or just try. You can place both hands to the ground. You'll try to press the knees into the triceps or backs of arms, lifting one leg or two legs, activating the core, looking ahead. Again, maybe you just lift one foot off the ground. Maybe your crow looks just fine. Whatever works for you in your practice. So from wherever you are, just bring your bottom towards the ground into a squat position, knees wide, toes are turning outwards, both left and right. You'll plant the right hand to the ground, inhale, left arm skyward, just gentle twist. On the exhale, return left palm to the ground or fingertips, inhale, right arm skyward, twisting opposite direction. And exhale, right hand back to the ground. From here, you'll just plant the palms to the ground and send the tailbone high so both legs are straight, forward fold. Press hands to shins, lift halfway and inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, travel high to low and exhale. Inhale, you'll roll shoulders up and back, upward dog, and exhale back, downward facing dog. Hips travel away from the hands. And once more, you'll exhale, setting both knees down to the ground and both elbows down to the ground as well. You want to make sure that the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders so you can keep your hands flat to the ground or clasp your fingers or hands together. You're going to curl the toes under and lift the hips, the tailbone to a downward dog legs. And keeping the shoulders over the elbows, you're going to step the feet closer towards your elbows or face. So you're really finding a nice high tailbone, lots of length in backs of legs, and an opening in shoulder blades. So you try to keep those shoulders over the elbows. Nice pressure through the arms. Navel's drawn in and up towards the sky. One more breath. And on your exhale, slowly set your knees down one at a time to the ground. You can come up to both arms and you can, in a close knee position or wide knee position, come back to child's pose. Bottom relaxing to the heels, relaxing the whole body. Allowing the air to just circulate in through the nose, out through the nose. Allow it to travel at its own pace for a moment. As you inhale, and slowly lift back up to tabletop position. Plant the right palm firmly underneath the right shoulder. Bring both feet to the end of the mat. Any way that's most comfortable for you, in side plank or Vasisthasana. Some people stack the feet. I prefer mine to be unstacked. If you need more support, you can drop the right knee down to the ground for more support. I'm trying to look up to that left arm if possible. You're making sure the belly's pulled in and the hips stay lifted. This is 10 breaths, almost done. Exhale, plant the hands back to the ground. Allow the knees to come back down to the ground. Tops of feet to the ground, and exhale back to child's pose. Relax a few breaths. On your next inhale, lift back up again to tabletop position, planting the left palm under the left shoulder. However worked for you on the other side, you can try on this side, lifting the right arm skyward if possible. One left knee to the ground, both feet to the end of the mat, making sure the belly's pulled in and the hips stay lifted. That little extra lift in hips will really work the obliques. Strong breath, smooth breath through nose. And exhale, both hands back to the ground and push back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, bend the knees, look ahead, and travel back to top of mat. Inhale halfway, exhale fold. Inhale, nice slow rise. And exhale, bring palms to heart center. On your next inhale, again, you'll lift through top or crown of head. Exhale, bring gaze over right shoulder. Inhale, lift through head. Exhale, gaze over left shoulder. Inhale, palms come to heart center. And take one large step back so you find yourself in a wide-legged stance. Both feet are parallel and wider than hips. Bring hands to the hips and exhale as you bend to fold forwards. So bring the hands to the ground from wherever you are. If you can't reach the ground with hands, try to bend the knees a little bit or shorten your stance. You're going to keep your left wrist under the left shoulder and inhale, open right arm skyward, trying to gaze up to that right hand. Trying also to lean forward, the weight towards the toes or hand a little bit. On your exhale, right hand comes back down to the ground under right shoulder. Inhale, open left arm. On the exhale, left hand returns back down to the ground. So from here, we'll just take a side lunge. So you might be facing another direction than I am, but you'll bend the right knee, turn the right toes out. You'll lengthen the left leg, flexing left foot to the ceiling. And then as you switch, the right foot will come back parallel. You'll bend the left knee, pointing left toes out, and find a nice stretch under the right leg, pointing right toes to the ceiling. From wherever you are, you'll come back to your wide-legged forward fold, where both feet are nice and wide, parallel to each other. Hands might be connected to the ground. You can allow the head or forearms to come to the ground. Again, if hands don't even touch the ground, might give the knees a little bend or shorten the stance. You want to find that the weight is leaned forward towards the toes or head or hands to open backs of legs. From wherever you were, you'll lift up to both hands and just rotate over to the front of your mat for a hip opener. So the right knee is over the right ankle, right foot or ankle is outside of the right hand. The left knee is to the ground, and you should feel a stretch in that front left hip, also under right hamstring. You can feel free to stay supported with both hands or lower down to the forearms if that's available. Just really trying to release the glutes, hips, trying to soften the body on an exhale. Slowly come back to that kind of tabletop position. Send the right leg or knee to the ceiling and just kind of make a few circles. And then switch sides when you're ready, sending that left foot outside of the left hand. Left knee is over the left ankle. Right knee is to the ground. You're feeling a stretch in that front right hip this time. Stay supported with both hands or come down to the forearms. The goal is not to lower down, but to really soften, relax the area and hips. From wherever you are, just make a few circles with that left knee or leg or hip. And then simply find your way over to a seated position. Take a stabilizing boat pose here, so making sure the low back is nice and firm. You can lift the legs off the ground. You can keep the knees bent or straighten the legs. You can keep the hands connected to the legs or release both arms. Wherever you can stay so that the low back is nice and firm. Making sure the chest stays lifted. Try not to collapse there. In and out through nose. One more breath. And on the exhale, release both soles of feet to the ground. The knees come wide. You're grabbing with both hands the soles of feet, pulling the feet towards the groin, and on your exhale, you'll fold forwards a bit. That fold is just to intensify the stretch if you don't feel enough with the knees wide themselves. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed here. Your next inhale, you'll lift the upper body slowly and bring both knees together. From here, you'll extend the right leg in front of you and then bend the left knee, bringing the top of your left foot to the ground near your left butt cheek. You're going to inhale both arms skyward and exhale to fold over that right leg. You're still flexing that right foot, keeping a nice long right hamstring, keeping the right leg connected to the ground. If, of course, this is uncomfortable for your left knee by any means, you can switch that foot and place the foot into the groin instead of outside. As you inhale, come back up, lifting the upper body, and just twist to your right. So bringing the right hand behind the back for support, gazing over right shoulder. And you'll exhale to unwind back to the center. So you'll connect left leg to the ground, bend the right knee, bring the top of right foot to the ground, outside of right butt cheek. Inhale, arms skyward, and exhale, fold over that left leg. Again, leg is connected to the ground, left leg. Left toes are skyward. Shoulders are relaxed. Folding only as much as is comfortable for you. As you inhale, come back up to a seated position and exhale, twist to your left, bringing the left hand behind the back, gazing over left shoulder. As you exhale, unwind back to the center. You'll bring both legs out in front of you. Take just a hold of your shins here and slowly roll down to your back. Releasing both hands to the mat, both feet skyward or overhead. If you have any issues in your neck, you'll keep the back flat and feet towards the ceiling. If you'd like to bring the feet behind you overhead into plow or halasana, feel free. Make sure the head is facing up. The hands are to the ground for support. If you were in plow, you'll very slowly lower back down to the back. So feet are skyward, and just bend both knees to come into happy baby or Ananda Balasana. Widening the knees, maybe grabbing at the shins, ankles, toes, wherever you can, allowing the hips to just relax. And just go ahead and allow both feet to come to the ground, allowing soles of feet to come together and both knees to come out wide. You'll allow the back to be relaxed. You might decide to close the eyes. You might keep the arms out at your sides, or you might bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. Here you're just taking the next few short moments to relax, allowing the muscles to relax and soften, focusing on relaxing the hips, the hands to the belly, hands to the chest or to the ground, the shoulder blades into the mat, the back of the head into the mat. Allow the space between your eyebrows to soften. Make sure the jaw is relaxed. And know that as you relax for the next few moments, that this is your time. Simply doing your best to allow the air to enter and exit with ease. That helps you focus. You can pay attention to the rise in belly on inhale and the fall in belly on exhale. Should anything distract you or come to your mind, just allow that thought to enter the mind, acknowledge it, try to make no judgment. And on your next exhale, try to allow that thought or distraction to pass or leave you. Allow your next inhale to bring your attention to the rise in belly, and your next exhale to bring attention to the fall in belly. From here, you might start to deepen the breath a little bit, so you might lengthen the inhale, lengthen the exhale. Feeling the breath as it fills the body, nourishes all the cells in the body. On your next inhale, starting to bend the knees, bringing the knees in towards each other, maybe wrapping the hands around the shins and rocking side to side to massage the low back. And then just as you rock to the right next, release the knees to the right, the arms out to the sides, turn your gaze to the left. Keep the eyes closed if you can in that reclining twist. On your inhale, bring the knees back to the center, and exhale, drop the knees to the left, gaze to the right, eyes closed if you can. And again, on your inhale, bring both knees back to the chest, hands to the shins. Just give a small little hug. If you can keep the eyes closed, do so as you just slowly use your hands to come up to a seated position, up to that cross-legged seat or however you began your practice. Make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. The shoulders are stacked over the hips. Take a few breaths here to complete. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale throughout mouth. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. On your next inhale, bring both palms to heart center, bowing the head to the hands in honor of your practice. Thank you for making time for yourself and joining me today. Namaste.